Hello everyone, welcome back to the English grammar class. This lesson is about direct and indirect speech, part 4, exclamatory sentences. An exclamatory sentence is one that expresses a sudden feeling of joy, sorrow, wonder, etc. The exclamatory mark is put after the exclamatory word or at the end of the sentence. An exclamatory sentence may be in the form of an ordinary sentence or sometimes in the form of a sentence where the subject and the verb comes in the last part of the sentence. In this video, we are going to learn how to change the direct speech into indirect speech of exclamatory sentences. Before we change the direct speech into indirect speech of exclamatory sentences, we need to know the following rules. The reporting verb is changed to exclaim, cried out, regretted, applauded, begged, etc. according to feeling expressed in the sentence. It is often followed by another phrases like in or with joy, in or with sorrow, in or with surprise, in or with wonder, etc. Change the exclamatory form into assertive form. Omit all interjections and use the conjunction that to introduce the reported speech. Complete the sentences if it is incomplete. The rules for change of pronouns and tenses, etc. should be observed. Now let us learn how to change the direct speech into indirect speech through some examples. Number 1, he said, "What a terrible night it is." When we change into indirect speech, the reporting verb said will change into exclaim, and the reported speech, which is an exclamatory sentence, will change into an assertive sentence. Here the exclamatory sentence is not like an ordinary sentence, which is arranged in such a way that the subject and the verb comes at the end of the sentence. But we are going to start with the subject followed by the verb when we change into indirect speech. Now let's change into indirect speech. He exclaimed, and take the conjunction that, and then the subject will be it. Take down it, and the past tense of is was a terrible night. He exclaimed that it was a terrible night. Number 2, Indira said how beautiful Shillong is. In this sentence, the reported speech is an exclamatory sentence which expresses about wonder. So when we change into indirect speech, we can use the verb exclaim with wonder. And let us change into indirect speech. Indira exclaimed with wonder that, take down Shillong, followed by the verb is will change into was. And here beautiful will change into very beautiful because we have to stress more when we change into indirect speech. Indira exclaimed with wonder that Shillong was very beautiful. Number 3, the young lady said, "Alas, my husband is no more." In this sentence, the reported speech is an exclamatory sentence which expresses about sorrow. Now let's change into indirect speech. The young lady, and we are going to use the verb exclaim in sorrow, and that my husband belongs to the lady's husband, so we'll change into her husband, and the verb is will change into was no more. The young lady exclaimed in sorrow that her husband was no more. Number 4, the captain said, "Bravo, you have done well, my mates." Here the reported speech is an exclamatory sentence which consists of an exclamatory word bravo and the vocative my mates. When we change into indirect speech, we have to remove the word bravo, and instead we are going to use the verb applauded, and also we are going to use my mates as an object when we change into indirect speech. Now let's change into indirect speech. The captain applauded his mates, saying that You belongs to the mats, so we'll replace with they, and have done will change into the past form had done. Well will change into very well. The captain applauded his mates, saying that they had done very well. Number 5, Prem said, "How foolish I have been." Here the reported speech expressed about regret. Let's change into indirect speech. Prem regretted. We can use the verb regretted directly without using exclaim. Prem regretted that I belongs to Prem. We are going to replace with he. Have been will change into the past form have been. Foolish will change into very foolish. Prem regretted that he had been very foolish. Number 6, Pooh, what a dirty child, said the nurse. Here the reported speech is an exclamatory sentence which expresses about hatred. Let us change into indirect speech. We have to start with the nurse. Exclaim hatefully that the child. Is will change into was. Dirty will change into very dirty. The nurse exclaimed hatefully that the child was very dirty. Number 7, he said, "Alas, the innocent people are killed." Here, the reported speech has an exclamatory word alas, which expresses about sorrow. When we change into indirect speech, we are going to remove the word alas, and instead of it, we are going to use the verb cried out in sorrow. Now let's change into indirect speech. He cried out in sorrow that the innocent people are will change into the past form were killed. He cried out in sorrow that the innocent people were killed. Number 8, the master said to his servant, "You fool, why have you disturbed me for nothing?" In this sentence, we can see that the master was not happy with his servant's action, and there are two sentences in the reported speech. The first part is "you fool," and the second part is "why have you disturbed me for nothing?" We are going to find a way to join all these sentences as one assertive sentence. Now let's change into indirect speech. For the first part, we have to change like this: the master disapproved of his servant's act. And for the second part, we have to continue with exclaiming why, and here "you" belongs to the servant will replace with he, and disturb is simple past tense will change into past perfect, that is had disturbed, and here "me" belongs to the master will change into him for nothing. The master disapproved of his servant's act, exclaiming why he had disturbed him for nothing. Number 9, Sohan said, "Goodbye, my friends." The reported speech has vocative, that is my friends. When we change into indirect speech, we can use this vocative as objects, and also we can use the verb bait instead of exclaim. Now let's change into indirect speech. We can change in two methods. The first method is Sohan bade his friends goodbye, or we can also change like this: Sohan bade goodbye to his friends. So this is the end of the lesson. We have learned about direct and indirect speech of exclamatory sentences. Thank you for your attention, and thank you very much for watching. See you again. Bye.